I lost Oreo the cat 2 years ago almost. A lot of people have asked, where's Oreo in these videos? I usually close my door when I leave, and my door, before getting some of the trim and frame and everything fixed and maintained a little bit better, the door would sound like it had slammed shut, and it hadn't really slammed shut. And he worked his way out. Now, my other cats, Blackberry and Mr. Clinton, have a much better sense of self-preservation than Oreo did. One of the things that made Oreo very charming, but is also admittedly the way that I found him to begin with, is that he had no sense of self-preservation. He would walk up to random people that he didn't know and just... When I first found him in Bed-Stuy in Brooklyn, when you would see cats that were strays, they would run away if you went even close to them, especially if you didn't have any food. And he just walked up to me and cried. I have that in the video on how I met Oreo. And when we did finally figure out who he belonged to, they said, oh yeah, he ran away, we're not interested. And so he was a cat that just did shit like that. He ran away, and I looked through my cameras to try and figure out where he went around my house. And there was only one way that I thought he could have went. So I went over the fence, looked for him. I spent hours looking for him. The next day, I put posters throughout my neighborhood, rang every single doorbell. The best thing, one or two things could have happened to Oreo. Behind door number one of the people across the street, because they were having a party that night, probably took him home. They saw him. Maybe he walked up to them and went... and they took him home the same way that I did because he had a really cute meow. Behind door number two, he got eaten by a coyote because there's lots of coyotes in this neighborhood. And, it was a sad event for me. And again, my other cats, they'll walk out a little bit, go back, walk out a little more, go back. And Oreo just rolled out, and that was that. And that was a very sad event for me. He was not one of my original cats, and I always kind of had him in my head as when I figured out who he belongs to and they take him back, they'll take him back, but I never thought I was going to lose him in that way. And that killed me inside. And there's this advertisement during the Super Bowl that made me sick. It was a Super Bowl ad for Ring doorbell cameras, and they were advertising it, and they had these people, they were saying something like, pets are family, but every year 10 million go missing. And he has people that are putting up what looks like AI-generated clips of lost dog posters. So they're putting up these little clips saying lost dog, lost dog, lost dog, and they're clipping it everywhere. They're making it sound like if you get a Ring doorbell installed and you check these boxes, you're actually helping other people who have lost their pets find their pets by creating an AI surveillance network that shares data with the police and law enforcement without a warrant. Before there was this whole thing with with flock cameras or everything else, I was doing videos on this channel talking about how Ring surveillance has shared information with the police without a warrant. If everybody has a Ring doorbell camera on their home, in front of their home, what that means is that it is very easy to create a network where you can watch what's going on virtually anywhere, all the time. And when you combine that with AI, you don't have to have a person watching that or looking through that. You can just have it say, find me somebody that looks like this, or when did people that looks like this gather where? And you could very, very, very easily, if you just put a little ChatGPT-like interface and combine it with security footage that's literally everywhere, create a surveillance state very similar to what very recently we used to make fun of China for. Now, personally, I think that there is a special spot reserved in hell for people that will weaponize the empathy and the sympathy of other people towards people who have gone through a tragedy, such as losing their pet, and use that to their own personal gain, in particular to try and eradicate the concept of privacy in our country. You're taking people's worst moments when they have lost a loved one, and you are using that to try and shove AI surveillance down the entire country's throat for profit, when this has been misused to the degree that it has, when it has mistook a Doritos bag for a gun, when it has been used to allow a police officer to stalk their ex and use the fact that he was sleep deprived as an excuse. Maybe he didn't take enough Ambien. Maybe he took too much. Whoever the fuck knows. To see all the misuses of this technology, to watch the erosions of privacy as they've occurred in real time over the past 10 to 20 years, and to create one of the biggest erosions of privacy in the country, and actually try to shove that down people's throats as if you really care about finding little Fluffy. Fuck you. I miss Oreo a lot. Really wish I could find him. I know I never will. If the cost for finding him were creating a surveillance network in my country to the where no man, woman, or child ever had privacy ever again, I vote no. CCTV. Closed circuit television. There are cameras everywhere all the time. The camera at the pizzeria is viewable by the pizza store manager. The cameras at the tire shop are viewable by the people that work at the tire shop, not viewable by everybody. They sure as fuck don't have this little interface that somebody could just type something in saying, find me when this and that happens, and just have it magically show up. Think about this long and hard before you jump on board with these ideas. Think about every single which way that your privacy has been undermined or screwed with over the past 10 to 20 years. Think about how creepy that feels when you're next to your phone and you talk about, I wasn't really comfortable having kids, but maybe now I am a little bit more comfortable having kids. And you start getting a bunch of fucking ads for things related to kids. How creepy it was that shit was listening to you the entire time. Think about the patent that Spotify had that I talked about on this channel, where they will use the information that comes in through the microphone to ascertain a user's emotional state to figure out what their emotional state is for the purposes of targeted advertising and playing the certain types of music for you. Then ask yourself, is this a good thing? That's it for today. And as always, I hope you learned something. I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.